Picture this: a Sunday service, 1839 Alabama. The preacher delivers a rousing sermon. Suddenly, a mustachioed figure in the pews twirls the ends of the most outlandish, obviously fake mustache you've ever seen. The congregation bursts out laughing. Scandal! But wait, is this a criminal offense? Today on Absurdly Legal, we're investigating one of the most giggle-inducing legal legends around. That it's illegal in Alabama to wear a fake mustache in church if it causes laughter. Is this a real law? Or just another internet myth with a bushy tail? Let's break it down one hair at a time. Why does this matter? Because it's a perfect window into America's love affair with absurd laws, and the often stranger-than-fiction stories behind them. Plus, who wouldn't want to know if sporting bargain bin facial hair at church could make you a criminal in the heart of Dixie? Our investigative parameters. 1. Hunt for the alleged law in Alabama's actual statutes. 2. Track its supposed 1839 origins. 3. See if it's ever been enforced. And 4. Uncover how something this wacky became legal folklore. Let's separate legal fact from mustachioed fiction. The claim: Alabama's no fake mustache in church law. This law allegedly bans wearing a fake mustache in church if it causes laughter. The supposed power? Outlawing comedy disguises in sacred spaces, specifically in Alabama, dating back to 1839. It's featured on every weird state laws list online, has appeared in dozens of books, and is commonly cited in trivia nights across the state. Its greatest feat, making people everywhere giggle and wonder, is that really a law? It's hilariously specific, perfectly memeable, and just believable enough to worm itself into legal trivia lore. It's oddly targeted. Only mustaches that cause laughter? Light on details. No statute number ever cited, and suspiciously absent from official legal texts. Plus, enforcement sounds impossible. The truth: Alabama's actual state and local laws can systematically debunk tall tales, armed with legal databases, state code archives, and old-school legislative records. Its specialty? Separating kooky law fact from folklore fantasy. Hundreds of odd law claims unmasked. Will this be another fictional follicle, or an actual statute with real roots? Relentless fact-checking. Access to the Alabama Code, legal history records, and the ability to trace the ancestry of even the strangest legislative rumors. Sometimes, the weirdest laws are hidden in dusty municipal books, or were repealed a century ago and forgotten. Some legal legends persist solely because the counter-evidence isn't digitized. Fiction strength, memorable absurdity. Fact strength, archive-backed evidence. But only one can grow into the truth. Myth wins speed on the internet, spreading faster than you can say handlebar. Research takes more time. Digging into 180-year-old statutes isn't exactly quick. Legal myth is surprisingly durable. It's everywhere. But real statutes have archival resilience, if they exist. Myth uses specificity and repetition for believability. Facts counter with legal citation, expert testimony, and historical records. The myth: infinite meme response. The facts: legal citation precision, and occasionally, proof of truly bizarre real laws. Weird law folklore has misled trivia fans for decades, but legal historians and code sleuths have debunked scores of similar claims. Will we find a kernel of truth? Say a general disturbing worship ordinance that could include mustaches by accident? X Factor: revival meeting antics of the 1830s. First, the legal rumor. Multiple websites, books, and trivia quiz apps insist Alabama bans fake mustaches in church if they cause laughter. Supposedly, from an 1839 law, sometimes cited as still on the books. Pulling up the Alabama Code, both modern and historical archives, let's search for everything: mustache, disguise, church, laughter, disturbing worship, you name it. The goal: see if this law ever existed in those words. University of Alabama law librarian interviews and state legal history articles confirm no state statute ever directly bans mustaches, fake or otherwise, in churches. But the kernel of truth emerges. In the 19th century, during wild revival meetings, some Alabama congregations did pass local ordinances to stop disruptions, including disguises intended to provoke laughter and mock worship. However, they were rarely written as mustache laws. One 1830s Selma city ordinance prohibits disguises and feigned apparitions that disrupt church order. Still, nothing at state level, and the wording is far broader and spookier than the modern myth. Some online legal trivia books cite an 1842 church decorum law, but actual legislative records show only general prohibitions on disturbing religious worship, often as misdemeanor offenses with fines, but no mention of mustaches, real or fake. No legal case, modern statute, or county record on Westlaw or the Alabama Code supports the exact law in any recognizable form. As for still on the books today, nope. General anti-disruption laws exist, but no fake mustache clause appears anywhere official. Law librarians, historians, and legal databases all say, urban myth. The truth TKOs the myth. The fake mustache law, in these exact words, never legally existed in Alabama's state code. At best, it's a comical exaggeration of broad, disturbing worship laws. At worst, pure comic invention. The myth's only defense is hearsay and repetition. The facts cornered it with statute books, legislative histories, and multiple legal expert interviews. And the mustache myth fell off faster than spirit gum in July. If someone can find a dusty old church or county record that directly says no mustaches that make people laugh, we'll eat our own fake facial hair. Until then, myth busted. Myth, 2% chance of existing in some obscure 1830s congregation paperwork. But as anything legally enforceable, less than 0.01%. No statute number, no modern legal reference, cited only by folklore, not codified law. No documented arrests or prosecutions. Every verifiable authority rejects its existence. Could a church kick you out for disruptive behavior? Sure. Could a city pass a new ordinance tomorrow banning gag mustaches in worship? Possibly. But as a binding, enforced Alabama state law, never happened. Dozens of weird law compilations twist and embellish old anti-disruption laws, turning them into mustache-specific bans. Other states, like Georgia, have similar myths, but no real statutes. Despite endless repetition, Alabama does not have a state law criminalizing fake mustaches in church, laughter-inducing or otherwise. The myth stems from broad anti-disruption ordinances, a sprinkle of 1830s church drama, and a whole lot of creative embellishment. Absurd legal myths remind us truth is often stranger than fiction, but sometimes fiction is simply funnier. Kudos to Alabama for inspiring one of the all-time great weird law legends. Heard a weirder law? Know someone who swears their small town banned rainbow suspenders in Bible study? Drop your favorite oddball statutes in the comments. Let's get a legal comedy archive going. The real story. Sometimes funny laws are just that, funny stories. But they give us clues about the anxieties, quirks, and sense of humor of past generations. And always check your statutes before you go full Groucho Marx at church. Should it be illegal to make people laugh in church with fake mustaches? Or is this the kind of law that should grow whiskers and fade into history? Sound off below. We love a good legal legend as much as anyone. But when the archives are silent and the only source is some guy on a trivia forum, it's probably just good old American tall tale. But hey, next Sunday, maybe ditch the Party City disguise, just in case. Think your state's weirder? Tell us in the comments. And remember, in law, the truth isn't always what gets the most laughs. Up next, the Great Pickles Debate. Just how bouncy does a pickle have to be legally sold in Connecticut? Don't miss another wild ride on Absurdly Legal.